Welcome everyone to the July 2014 videocast of the American Private Investigator. This is your host, Paul Jaeb, broadcasting out of beautiful Minneapolis, Minnesota. The July podcast is now available. Great show. We did our first rookie roundtable. It was just a fascinating discussion with Mike Tumanero from the state of Maine, Brian Davidson out of Houston, Texas, and Kevin Connolly out of upstate New York. These are all three very experienced business people who've been licensed for less than 3 years. We have a really, I think, insightful conversation about the challenges and the expectations of starting a new agency. So tune in for that. That's just awesome. Alan Goodman is back with his Goodman monologue. He starts out talking about sales and marketing and ends up somewhere completely different. As usual, that's quite entertaining, so look forward to that. Scott Wilson from IRB Search came back to give us an update on the terrific rollout of their new product, IRB Focus, where they launched that at the Cali conference recently. So Scott gives us an update on that. Great stuff there. August show is shaping up nicely. We have Brian Willingham, a very, very progressive private investigator from the East Coast. He's going to be on the program. And Barry Nixon, many of you may know him. Barry is arguably the #1 pre-employment screening expert in the country. He's going to finally get on our program. We've been trying to work that out for a number of years. Also next month, we're going to be finally announcing our first webinar, which I think we're going to hold sometime in September or October, so look forward to getting some more information on that. So that's finally coming together. Quick shout out to my buddy David Luther out of Houston, Texas. David has been reelected as the National Director for the National Association of Legal Investigators. Well done, David. Well deserved. The Tally Conference in Texas is coming up in September. And I'd encourage anyone who's in the area to head to that. There are always just terrific conferences, and this one is going to be held in Austin. I think it's in early September. And I have been invited to speak at the FALI conference, the Florida Association of Licensed Investigators, next spring. So I'm already looking forward to that. As we normally do on the videocast, we are going to give shout outs to some of our new followers. On Twitter, Steve Morrow, Kern Legal, and John Lacker, all out of the state of California, are now following us on Twitter. Thank you very much. David Ailes from Quick Serve in Milton, Massachusetts. EU Audits out of Warsaw, Poland. Sheila Wysock out of the state of Tennessee. Nice young man I've met recently, Chris Borba, who started his agency in Roanoke, Virginia, and I've actually been working with him a little bit. Great guy. He is now following us on Twitter out of the country of Spain. NADPay Detectives, Richard Dryden and Josh Panger, both out of the state of Texas, are now following us. Mac Investigations in Durham, North Carolina. The PI Barter Exchange from Connecticut, Raymond Ramo. In Arizona, Real-Time Investigations. Robert Sweat out of Knoxville, Tennessee is on board. Rick Burrows out of St. Louis. Discovery Investigations in Walnut Creek, California. Escott Investigation. I think he's a paranormal investigator out of UK. And our good friend of the show, Scott Harrell, is now following us on Twitter as well. We have a ton of new people who have opted in on our site. Very quickly, Charles Blount, Richard Brogan, Thomas Ivy, Consuelo Brown, Loretta Casillo, William Hutzel, Joel Levinson, a guy that I met at a seminar up in Vancouver, Canada, brilliant business guy. Joel is now opting in with us. David Johnson, Steve White, Adam Toman, Steve Bachler, Daniel Wood, and Ernest Estrada. Thank you very much for opting into our main program off the website. If you go to AmericanPrivateInvestigator.com, you'll see all of the links that we have in the upper right-hand corner. and I encourage all of you to sign up on whatever platform you like. We seem to be getting a bunch of Twitter followers, so that's awesome. You can also sign up directly with API by hitting the sign up here button, and I encourage you all to do that. We do need a way to communicate with you, especially with these training programs coming on that won't be released through iTunes, if that's how you're listening to the podcast. So that's it for this videocast. Thank you very much for your continued loyalty. The podcast is just really taking off here. We're very appreciative of all of our listeners. And then a final shout out to one of our key sponsors, IRB Search. They've got this dynamite new product called IRB Focus. Next month they're going to be talking about some really mind-blowing new service that they're offering. And keep in mind that if you're not a customer of IRB, because you are a listener of the show, you do get 50 free searches over the course of 1 week. So check that out at irbsearch.com. So enjoy the podcast, everyone, and I will be back next month. Have a great 4th of July. Thanks.
For more information on the products and services of the American Private Investigator, please visit AmericanPrivateInvestigator.com. Make sure to engage with us through our social media links on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube.